Hello, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Today, our group, which is Group 2, will discuss the Chapter 19, Building Investment Formulas. Before we proceed, allow me first to introduce myself. I am Janelus M7 po. So, let's go back to our topic, which is the Chapter 19. So, along the discussion, you are expected to learn the four topics, which is number one, working with interest rates. Two is calculating the future value. Three, working toward an investment goal. And the number four is the building an investment schedule. So, kung nakikinig po tayo in the previous chapter, which is the chapter 18, na ni-report po nila Ms. Agas, the building loan formulas, parang, parang same lang din po sila dito sa i-report namin, which is the investment. The difference is, sa kanila po, when we talk about loans, syempre, if you receive a loan, it's a positive cash flow. And if you pay it in the near future, it's a negative cash flow. However, sa investment naman po, kapag nag-deposit po tayo, syempre, kabawasan po yun sa atin. So, it's a negative cash flow. And then, if we receive an interest or return sa in-invest po natin, it's a positive cash flow. So, without further ado, let's start na po yung first topic, which is the working with interest rates. Alam ko pong familiar na tayo pag sinasabing interest. Kasi first year pa lang tayo, na-introduce na sa atin kung ano nga ba yung interest rates. So dito sa chapter na to, mas magkakaroon pa po tayo ng knowledge when we encounter and when we work with interest rate. So meron po tayong few other interest rate techniques na dapat nating malaman. So ano po yun? Number one is the understanding compound interest. Pag sinabi po nating interest, di ba merong dalawa? Simple and compound. Pag sinabi nating simple interest, the interest earns only on the principal amount. Dito po sa example natin, for example, nag-invest tayo ng 1,000, then the interest rate is 10%. So annually po, ita-times lang po natin yan, magkakaroon po tayo ng 100 each year. Pag sinabi naman po natin compound interest, it earns on both the principal amount and any accrued interest. Dito po sa example natin, di ba? 1,000 po yung principal amount and then 100 po yung interest na receive natin ng first year. On the second year po, i-add na po natin yung principal amount and then yung na-receive natin na 100, which will be 1,100. And yun na po yung gagamitin natin para i-multiply yung 10% na interest rate. And magkakaroon na po tayo on the second year ng interest na 110. Ganun lang po siya hanggang sa third year, fourth year, so on and so forth. So yun po yung tinatawag natin compound interest. The second technique is the nominal versus effective interest. I know may idea na rin tayo kung ano yung nominal tsaka effective, lalo kasi na-encounter natin yan tuwing exam at quiz. Diba? During intermediate accounting, first year pa lang tayo, na-encounter na natin yan. So, ano nga ba yung nominal rate and effective rate? Sabi dito, interest can also be compounded within the year. Meron po siyang scenario na bigay. So, suppose that your $1,000 investment earns 10% compounded semi-annually. At the end of the first 6 months, you receive $50 in interest, 5% of the original investment. So, this $50 is reinvested. And for the second half of the year, you earn another 5% of $1,050 or the $52.50. Therefore, the total interest earned in the first year is $102.50. So in other words, the rate appears to actually be 10.25%. And the question is, alin po dun yung tama? The 10% or the 10.25%? To answer that, we need to know kung alin po ba dun yung nominal rate and the effective rate. So, the nominal rate is the annual rate before compounding. Ibig sabihin, dito po sa example natin, it is the 10%. Sa effective rate naman, this is the annual rate that investment actually earns in the year after the compounding. Eh, saan po ba dito yung actually na earn sa may example natin? Di ba? It's the 10.25%. Sabi niya, di ba? Interest rate appears actually be 10.25%. So, madali mo lang madetermine kung alin dito yung nominal rate if we know kung ano yung tinatawag na um, compounding periods. Ano yun? Yun yung mga annually. Pag sinabing annually, di ba? It's 12 months. Pag sinabing semi-annually, it is composed of 6 months. Parang dalawang beses ka magbabayad in 1 year, ganon. Like quarterly, ganon. Dapat familiar tayo. Kasi, usually, sa mga problems during exam and quiz, malalaman mo na nominal rate yon before the compounding periods. Parang yung interest nominal rate muna before yung compounding periods. Next po, here you are given a formula on how to convert the nominal rate into effective annual rate and the formula to convert effective annual rate to nominal rate. So, hindi ko na po siya maipapakita since hindi ko naman po siya report. So, let's call the one who will report this, Miss Raisa Fernandez.
So, good day everyone. I'm Raisa Fernandez, and my topic is all about converting between the nominal rate and right now the effective rate. So, the first one is understanding compound interest. An interest rate is described as simple if it pays the same amount each period. For example, if you have $1,000 in an investment that pays a simple interest rate of 10% per year, you'll receive $100 each year. However, that you were able to add the interest payment to the investment, and at the end of the first year, you would have 1,100 in the account, which means that you would earn $110 in interest. So, 10% of $1,100 the second year. Being able to add interest earned to an investment is called compounding, and the total interest earned, the normal interest plus the extra interest on the reinvested interest, the extra $10 in the example is called compound interest. Second one is nominal versus effective interest. So, interest can also be compounded within the year. For example, suppose that your $1,000 investment earned 10% compounded semi-annually. At the end of the first 6 months, you receive $50 in interest, 5% of the original investment. This $50 is reinvested, and for the second half of the year, you earn 5% of $1,050 or 52.50. Therefore, the total interest earned in the first year is 102.50. In other words, the interest rate appears to actually be 10.25%. So which is the correct interest rate? 10% or 10.25? So, to answer that question, you need to know about the two ways that most interest rates are most often quoted. First one is the nominal rate. This is the annual rate before compounding. The 10% rate in the example. The nominal rate is always quoted along with the compounding frequency. For example, 10% compounded semi-annually. So, the second one is effective rate. This is the annual rate that an investment actually earned in the year after the compounding is applied, the 10.25% in the example. In other words, both Both rates are correct, except that with the nominal rate, you also need to know the compounding frequency. So, para makuha yung effective rate per period, ang gagawin is nominal rate, nominal rate by divided by number of periods. So, example is, ano ba? Ayaw matanggal. So, dito. Para daw makuha yung effective rate per period is equal sign, kung ilan yung nominal rate natin, divided by kung ilang periods. Enter. O, di ba? Nag-decimal siya. So, para maging percent yan, syempre, pwede natin percent. Boom. 10% na siya. So, shit. The next one is, here is the number of compounding periods per year. To convert the nominal annual rate into the effective annual rate, you use the following formula. For example, dito natin gawin. Equal sign daw. Dalawang open parenthesis. Ay, mali. 1 plus nominal rate divided by number of periods. Tapos, close parenthesis, how, yung 1 na naman, plus close parenthesis, minus 1. So, 0.1 na naman. May nating percentage. Boom. So, the next one is, wala, ayaw. Ayaw niya, guys. Oh my God. Niloloko, 3 AM, minumulto ako. So, the next one is, minumulto ako, guys. Next one is, if you know the effective rate per period, you can derive the nominal rate by multiplying the effective rate by the number of periods. So, ganito yan. Di ba ayaw niya? Wait lang. Ba't ba kasi nandito ka? Shit. Hello. Ang napindot ko. Oh my God. Wait lang. Ayan na. Minumulto talaga ako, guys. So, the next one is equal sign. Yung effective rate daw. Ito. Times the number of periods. Diba, nagpo-0.1 siya, nagdi-decimal. Yung natin percentage. Yan. So, the next one is, To convert the effective annual rate to the nominal annual rate, you use the following formula. So, ganito. Equal sign. Ay, shit. Equal sign. Number of periods. Times. Open parenthesis. Effective rate daw. Plus. Oh my God. Plus 1. Close parenthesis. How? Open parenthesis. 1 divided by number of periods. Di 1 ulit. Close parenthesis. Minus 1. Yung number of periods. Di ba? Nagpo-0.1 siya. Ayan na. So, the next one is, oh my God. So, the next one is converting between nominal rate and effective rate. Ganyan yun. Papakita ko na lang kung paano gawin to. Converting between the nominal rate and the effective rate. So, the first one na gagawin natin is yung to convert a nominal annual interest rate to the effective annual rate. So, ang gagawin is ito. Equal sign. Effect. Kung ilan yung annual. Comma. Kung ilan yung period. Tapos, close parenthesis. Ay, shit, value. Nag-error siya, guys. Pinahiya niya ako. Tama naman to, oh. Nagawa ko dito. I mean dito. Di ba? Ay, mali pala. So, mali ako. Dito natin gagawin. Equal sign. Effect. Yung 10, 2, close parenthesis. Di ba? With nothing percentage. Boom. So, the next one is yung nominal naman. Equal sign. Nominal. Effective rate. Number of period. Close parenthesis. O, diba? 10 point ano siya, something. Oh my God, bakit ganyan? Mali tayo guys. Cut ko na lang yun later. So, tama naman. Tama pala yun guys. Kasi 10. 10 yung sagot. Okay, equal sign. Nominal. 10.54. 65. 10. Boom. So, yun lang. Bye.
So, hi guys, I'm Deborah Siusan and I'm going to show you the calculating the future value. So just as the payment is usually the most important value for a loan calculation, the future value is usually the most important value for an investment calculation. After all, the purpose of an investment is to place a sum of money, present value, in some instrument for time, after which you end up with some new and hopefully greater amount, the future value. So, sinasabi lang dito na importante na malaman natin kung magkano ba yung perang in-invest natin ngayon sa future. Diba? Yung pera na in-invest natin ngayon, which is the present value, yung in-invest natin ngayon, ayun yung present value, and yung pera naman na matatanggap natin sa future, yun naman yung future value ng pera. So, to calculate the future value of an investment, Excel offers the FV function. Meron tayong ditong rate and per, PNP, PV, tsaka type. Rate, ito yung percentage. This is the fixed rate of interest over the term of the investment. And per naman, the number of periods in the term of the investment. Kung ilang years ba, kanyan. PMT naman is the amount deposited in the investment each period. Ito naman yung dinideposit mo. Pwedeng every month, ganun. Every year. Yung PV naman is the initial deposit. Yung pinaka, una, na dinideposit mo. Type is the type of deposit. Use 0, the default, for end of period deposits. And 1 naman kapag beginning of periods yung deposits. Because both of the amount deposited per period, the PNT argument, the initial deposit, and the PV argument are sums that you pay out. This must be entered as negative values in the FV function. Kung natatandaan nyo, itong part na to ay parang nasabi na rin ni Kyla dun sa previous na report nila. So, every time na gagamit tayo ng FV function, dapat lagi siyang naka-negative yung deposited per period natin, tsaka yung initial na deposit natin since naglalabas nga tayo ng pera, nababawasan tayo, ganyan. Kaya lagi dapat siyang naka-negative. Next, the future value of a lump sum. In the simplest future value scenario, we invest a lump sum and let it grow according to the specified interest rate and term, without adding any deposits along the way. In this case, we use the FV function with the PMT argument set to 0. So, future value of a lump sum, ito yung kapag may initial deposit ka pero hindi ka naman na nagde-deposit each period, ganyan. Parang isahan ka lang talagang nag-invest. Isahan ka lang nag-deposit, ganyan. Para mas mag-gets natin, try natin sa Excel. Yan. Ito yung example problem. Figure 19.2 shows the future value of $10,000 invested at 5% over 10 years. So, meron tayo ditong 5% interest rate. May term tayo na 10 years. Deposit per period na 0. Since lump sum nga siya, hindi tayo nagde-deposit per period. And initial deposit na 10,000. Deposit type is 0. Meron natin na dollar sign. Para makuha yung future value ng lump sum, equal sign, FB, and close parentheses, interest rate, comma, term, comma, deposit per period, comma, initial deposit, and yan. Yung nakalimutan natin. Nakalimutan natin lagyan ng negative sign para maging positive. Yan. Check natin kung ganun din siya sa video. Yan. may nakalagay dito na Excel's FB function does not work with the continuous compounding. Instead, you need to use a worksheet formula text palinggan naman. So, kapag compounded continuously investment natin, hindi tayo pwedeng gumamit ng FB function. Instead, ito yung gagamitin natin na formula. Try natin later. Deposit rate is 5%. Term of 10 years. Deposit per period. 0. Initial deposit. 10,000. Deposit dollar sign. Kung nagtataka kayo kung ba't hindi ko na nilagyan ng negative sign, yung initial deposit ay nagna-negative sign lang tayo kapag FB function yung gagamitin natin. So, ito naman, para makuha yung future value kapag compounded continuously siya, cosine, itong initial deposit, times, exp, then close parentheses, initial interest rate, times yung then close parentheses, kakakuha raw tayo ng 16,487.92. And next is future value of series deposit. Another common investment scenario is to make a series of deposits over the term of the investment without depositing an initial sum. In this case, we use the FB function with the PV argument set to 0. Dito naman sa future value of series deposits, ito naman yung hindi ka nag-deposit ng initial na sum money, pero nagre-deposit ka each period, ganun. Para mas mag-gets, try natin sa Excel. Ito yung example problem. Future value of $100 invested each month at 5% over 10 years. And notice that the rate and the term are both converted to monthly amounts because the deposit occurs monthly. So, yan, interest rate natin annual ay 5%. Term na 10 years. Deposit per period na 100. And initial deposit, wala. Yung deposit tayo, 0. Para makuha yung future value ng series of deposit, cosine FB, yung close parentheses, 5%. Since annual to, i-divide natin siya sa 12. Makuha natin yung monthly niya. Pati itong term natin, times 12. Since monthly nga siya. Tapos, comma, yung deposit per period, comma ulit, initial deposit, and yung deposit check. Yan. Meron tayong 15,528.23. Mali currency. Tingnan natin kung ganun din siya sa limbo. Tada. Susunod naman is the future value of a lump sum deposit. Ito naman is kapag may may initial na deposit ka and nag-deposit ka doon each period. So, para mas magets, try natin ulit ito yung example problem ulit. Shows the future value of an investment with 10,000 initial deposit and $100 monthly deposits at 5% over 10 years. Interest rate na 5%. Then ulit na 10 years. Deposit per period mo is 100. Initial deposit ka rin na 10,000. Zero. para makuha ulit yung future value, type equal sign, then close parenthesis, yung rate, divide ulit natin siya sa 12, comma, yung 10 times 12, comma, yung deposit per period, comma, initial deposit, comma, and deposit type. Then close parenthesis. Meron kang 31,998.30. Tingnan ulit natin kung gano'n siya sa link. Ayan. So that's all, guys. Thank you. Adios.
Thank you, Deborah. Ngayon po, let's go to another topic, which is working toward an investment goal. Ngayon po, kapag nag-invest po tayo, instead na parang tignan lang kung saan mapupunta yung investment natin, kung ano mangyari sa invest natin, why don't we have a specific investment goal? And dapat magkaroon po tayo ng mindset or thinking na parang, ano ba dapat gawin ko para maabot yung investment goal na yon? Like, ask yourself, what will it take to get me there? So, para po masagot yung mga tanong natin like that, the answer will be the four main future value parameters na i-discuss din po ngayon. The first one is interest rate, the second, number of periods, third, regular deposit, and the last one is initial deposit. So let's have the first one, calculating the required interest rate. Ito po, if you know the future value that you want, when you want it, and the initial deposit, and the periodic deposit you can afford, sabi, what interest rate do you require to meet your goal? So to answer that one, meron po tayong mga formula. At the same time, may example po tayo. So, itong mga introduction po na to, like yung formula na yan, ganyan, makikita po natin yan sa chapter 18, na-discuss na po yan. So, kung nakinig po tayo ng maigi before, dapat alam na po natin yan ngayon. So, para po mas madali po tayong matapos, punta na po tayo sa example on how are we going to compute the required interest rate. So, here, my example po, sabi, if you need $100,000 10 years from now and are starting with $10,000 and can deposit $500 per month, what interest rate is required to meet your goal? Here po, the future value, of course, the 100,000. Term years is 10, sabi niya kasi 10 years from now. Then deposit per month, which is 500. Initial deposit is 10,000. Makikita naman po natin yan. Kaya po siya negative, di ba? Naalala po natin na when we say deposit, it's a negative cash flow. Kaya po siya negative. So deposit type, 0. So to compute the interest rate po, you need to first click the equals, then type rate. There you go. And then click the term years, and then click asterisk for its times 12, comma, deposit per month, comma, initial deposit, comma, and then the future value, comma, and then the deposit type, comma, and then 0 type, 0.05, and then open and close parenthesis, then type 12. There you go. 0.6, 0.06, or the 6% interest. So to calculate the number of periods, let's have Jasame Torino to explain this.
So, good morning, everyone. My name is Jenny Pascua, and today I'm going to present my part of my presentation, which is the calculating the required initial deposit and calculating the future value with parent interest rate. So first, I'm allowing to share my screen with you guys. Please, calculating the required initial deposit. For the final standard future value calculation, suppose that you know when you want to reach your goal and how much you can deposit each period, and how much the interest rate will be. What? Then, do you need to deposit initially to achieve your future value target? To find the answer, you use PV function, which uses the following syntax from the point of view of an investment. So, let's proceed to Excel. So, para ma-compute natin ang initial deposit, so first, ang kailangan natin gawin is equals, then PV, then open parentheses, then B3, which is 6%, divide mo siya sa 12, then comma, then B4, which is 3 years, then ita-times mo naman siya sa 12, then comma, then B5, which is negative $2,000, then comma, and B6, which is $100,000, and last is B7, which is 0. Then close parenthesis. Then kung enter natin yan, makikita natin yung answer, which is same pa rin doon sa example nakalagay sa textbook. So next is let's proceed to calculating the future value with varying interest rate. The future value examples that you've worked with so far have all assumed that the interest rate remain constant over the term of the investment. This will always be true for fixed rate investments, but for other investments such as mutual funds, stocks, and bonds, using a fixed rate of interest is, at best, a guess about what the average rate will be over the term. For investments that offer a variable rate over the term, or when the rate fluctuates over the term, Excels offer the FB schedule, open and close parenthesis function, which returns the future value of some initial amount given a schedule of interest rates. So let's proceed to Excel. So first, ang kailangan natin gawin para ma-compute natin ang future value is equal, then FB schedule, open parentheses, then C4, which is 100,000, comma, then C6, then 2, C10, then close parentheses, enter. Ayan. Kung titilan natin yung answer to SM lang din doon sa nakalagay sa textbook. So, second naman is para makompute naman yung average rate. So first, ang kailangan natin gawin is equals, then rate, then open parentheses, then rows, then again, open parentheses ulit, then C6 to C10, then close parentheses, then comma, turn on, comma, then 0, then comma again, and then C4, which is $100,000, then comma, then gagawin natin is kunin natin yung less FB schedule, kukunin natin yung naano sa future value. Then, open parenthesis again, then C4, comma, then C6 to C10. Then, double close parenthesis. Kung enter natin is, lalabas is 6%, which is parehas lang din doon nakalagay sa textbook. Gets mo ba? Yun lamang po. Next presenter na lang. Thank you.
So, hi, good day. My name is Flora Cabarrio, and today I'm gonna discuss the case study in building an investment schedule. So, actually, dalawa kami dito ni Iya. Pero, i-discuss ko muna kung paano ginagawa yung investment schedule sa pamamagitan ng other example na wala sa book. So kung makikita nyo sa screen, meron kayong nakikitang investment schedule and investment data. So mama, ipapakita ko sa inyo kung paano siya ginagawa. So let's read muna. If you're planning future cash flow requirements or future retirement needs, it's often not enough just to know how much money you'll have at the end of investment. You might need to also know how much money is in the investment account or fund at each period throughout the life of the investment. So, sa madaling salita, kapag daw tayo nag-i-invest o kunwari meron tayong pinaglalaanan or pinag-iipunan, hindi lang dapat natin inaalam yung kalalabasan o yung future value nung pera natin over that time. Dapat din pala alam natin kung magkano yung kinikita o tinutubo nung hinuhulog nating pera each period. So to do this, you need to build an investment schedule. This is similar to an amortization schedule except that it shows the future value of an investment at each period in the term of an investment. So yung amortization table, na-discuss naman na siya ng ibang group, ng ibang reporter. So kung gusto nyong makita o mapag-aralan, makikita nyo siya sa page 456. And okay, so the periodic deposit put into the investment, particularly the amount deposited and the frequency of the deposits. The frequency of the deposits determines the total number of periods in the investment. For example, a 10-year investment with a semi-annual deposit has 20 periods. So kung makikita nyo naman dito sa screen, meron tayong 10 years or 10 terms ng investment. And ang deposit frequency natin is monthly. So, ang deposit per year natin is 12 since in a year, meron tayong 12 months. And then sa compounding frequency natin, dun sa investment plan na pinasok natin. So, monthly pala siyang tumutubo. So, since in a year, meron tayong 12 months, yung compounding per year natin is 12 din. Okay, so bago tayo pumunta dyan, discuss muna natin yung nandito sa PDF. The compounding frequency of the investment, annually, semi-annually, and so on, assuming that you know the APR, that is nominal annual interest rate, you can use the compounding frequency to determine the effect rate. So mamaya i-discuss din natin kung paano nakuha yung effective rate per period. Kung ano yung mga formula na ginamit natin. Note, however, that you can't simply use the effect function to convert the non-nominal rate into the effective rate. That's because you're going to calculate the future value at the end of each period, which might or might not correspond to the compounding frequency. For example, if the investment compounds monthly and the deposit semi-annually, there will be 6 months of compounding to factor in the future value at the end of each period. So sabi nga, kunwari monthly daw nagko-compound tapos semi-annually lang daw yung pag-deposit. So sa isang taon, 2 beses ka lang naguhulog, pero yung pag-accumulate o pagkakaroon ng tubo mali ako nang ginamit. Yung pagkakaroon ng tubo nung ini-invest mo is monthly. So sinabi nga, so semi-annually, 6 months tumutubo yung pera mo in each period. Getting the proper effective rate for each period requires 3 steps. Number 1, use the effect function to convert the nominal annual rate into the effective annual rate based on the compounding frequency. Number 2, the nominal function to convert the effective rate from step 1 into nominal rate based on the deposit frequency. Number 3, divide the nominal rate from step 2 by the deposit frequency to get the effective rate per period. This is the value that you'll plug into the FV or future value function. So today, ating i-discuss na kung paano nga siya nako-compute. So, tanggalin lang muna natin to. So, I've already prepared an example. Makakatulong sa atin para mas maintindihan natin yung example sa PDF or sa book. Punta lang tayo sa 8.2. Okay. So, tinanggal ko muna yung mga yung mga nakalagay na datas, numbers para ma-i-discuss ko sa inyo kung paano siya ginagawa. So, ang nominal rate natin is 6. So, given na yun. Tapos, 10 years. Tapos, initial deposit natin, gagawin natin 5,000. Tapos, yung periodic deposit is 12. And then, yung sa deposit type, pwede nyo siyang gawing 1 or 0. Pag 0, ibig sabihin, end of the month period ka nagdi-deposit. Pag 1 naman, every beginning of the period ka nagdi-deposit. Dito naman sa deposit frequency, meron tayong nilagay na drop-down list. So pag clinic nyo yan, meron kayong makikitang annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily. Ngayon, sa mga nagtataka kung paano siya ginagawa, madali lang siya. Punta lang kayo dito. Tapos hanapin nyo tong drop-down. So, may makikita kayo dito sa gilid. Tingnan ko lang tong camera. Okay. So, may makikita kayo dito sa gilid na mga listahan na pwede nyo ilagay dun sa drop-down list na gagawin ninyo. X na natin. Ay, hindi na. Okay. So, yung drop-down list, kinapi ko lang from deposit frequency, tsaka sa compounding frequency. Tapos ngayon, since monthly ang frequency nga natin, 12 yung deposit per year. Tapos yung sa compounding naman, 12 din since monthly. Ngayon, pupunta na tayo sa pag-compute ng ating effective rate per period. So, madali lang yan. Gagawin lang natin is equal sign, type nyo ang nominal, open parenthesis, effect, and then open uli, click B12, B2, this one. Or pwede nyo rin siyang i-type kung saan kayo mas mapapadali. So, B2, comma, B5, close, comma, B3, B3, close uli, divided by B3. And then, just click enter. So, yan na, yung percentage natin or yung rate natin per period. Ngayon, to get our total period naman, just simply type equal sign B3, which is yung terms natin, times D3 or yung, wala na i-times, sorry, maling napindot ko, times D3, which is yung deposit per year natin. Tapos, meron tayong 120 periods. Ngayon, so, dito naman, sa paglagay natin ng period, meron tayong dalawang formula na pwede nating gawin. Yung una, ituturo ko muna is manual nating i-type yung number 1. And then, dito sa pangalawa, ang itatype lang natin is equals, type, click nyo yung A11 or type nyo yung A11. sorry, plus 1. So, yan na. Tapos, pwede nyo na siyang i-drag. Okay. Control Z muna natin para maipakita ko sa inyo yung isa pang formula. Or, pwede namang equal sign. Type nyo yung row. Open. A11. Close. Minus 10. So, yan na. And then, drag nyo na lang din. After 120 yung ating period. Okay. Okay. Tsaka, ngayon, may isa pa akong gustong isingit na ituro para maganda tignan yung ating table. Punta lang kayo sa view. So, nakikita niyo itong fixed line. Baba niyo lang dito. Yan. So, para kahit na tayo, scroll up, scroll down, makikita pa rin natin yung title. Nakaisip ko lang ito. Okay. Sa interest earn naman natin, ang gagawin lang muna natin is type equal sign, absolute function or ABS, open, B4 times, type nyo lang yung $sign D, $sign 6, and then press enter. So, may lalabas na tayong cumulative interest, gagawin lang natin dyan, ay kakopy lang muna natin. So, 25. Sa cumulative deposit naman, ang gagawin naman natin is equal sign A11 times absolute function is ABS, open, wala. So, open, B5, then close. Okay, so makikita nyo yung ating cumulative deposit. So, pwede na i-drag. Nyo lang yan para mag-autofill na. So, makikita nyo, nandyan na yung value. Sa ating total increase naman, it's just type cosine B11 plus B11. Okay. So, sa ating future value, sa unang period natin, ang itatype natin is equal sign FV or future value function, and then open $sign D, $sign 6, A11, so $sign D, $sign 5, $sign D, $sign 4, and then $sign B, $sign 6, and then close, and then press enter. So, yan na. Tapos, dito naman sa period 2 natin, iba naman yung natin. So, yeah, actually, we can drag naman na din. Iba lang function. So, yan na. Yan. Sa ating, naman, sa ating total increase, gagawin lang natin cosine B12 B. Yan na. So, makikita nyo 400 yung nakalagay dyan kasi hindi pa natin inaayos yung nasa natin 'to para matapos na 'to. Tapos tsaka na natin asikasuhin yung dalawa na natitira. Okay. So, dito tayo magpunta sa ating interest. So, after nung ano natin, iba kasi yung gagawin nating formula para sa ating period 2. Kasi pag drinag mo 'to, mag-iiba yung kalalabasan. Tingnan niyo. Sorry, mali yung napindot. So, makikita niyo. So, to fix that, Control-Z muna tayo. Gagawin lang natin is cosine F11 times $sign. Okay. And then press enter. So, yan na. And then, yeah. And then sa ating cumulative interest, type lang natin yung cosine E11 plus E12. So, yan na. And then, nakita niyo nagbago na yung value nung nandito sa total increase. So, yun lang. Ganun lang gumawa ng investment schedule tsaka investment data. Yung other information, i-discuss ni Iya. Thank you.
Figure shows a worksheet that implements an investment schedule. So dito, merong two portion of the worksheet. First is the investment data and investment schedule. Here's a summary of items in the investment data portion. So first, nominal rate. This is the nominal annual rate of interest for the investment. Ito yung nasa B2 na 6%. Term or years. This is the length of the investment in years. Yung nasa B3 naman na 10 years. Initial deposit. This is the amount deposited at the start of the investment. Ito yun yung nasa B4. Negative siya kasi ito yung money na ibabayad mo. Same sa periodic deposit na 5,000. This is the amount deposited at each period of the investment. So again, negative siya ulit. Next, deposit type. This is the type argument of the FD function. So, next naman is deposit frequency. Use this drop-down list to specify how often the periodic deposits are made. The available values. Annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily. So, sa deposit per year naman, this is the number of periods per year. Ito yon. Sa annually is 1, semi-annually 2, quarterly 4, monthly 12, weekly 52, and daily is 365. So, dito sa compounding frequency, same lang din siya sa deposit frequency. And sa compounds per year, ay same lang din sa deposit per year. So, move na tayo sa next, yung effective rate per period. This is the effective interest rate per period as calculated using the three-step algorithm outlined earlier in this section. Ito yun yung nasa D6 na 6.9%. Next naman is yung sa total periods. This is the total number of deposit periods in the loan, which is just the term multiplied by the number of deposits per year. Yun, 10. So, move naman tayo dito sa next investment schedule. Ito naman yung summary niya. Una is yung period. Ito ang nakikita natin sa column A. So, paano ba natin yan nakuha? Ito lang din siya. This is the period number of the investment. The period values are generated automatically based on the total period's value. Ito yung nasa D7, yung binabanggit, na ilalagay lang din natin dito. Next column naman is yung nasa B, which is yung interest earned. So, later, explain ko rin kung paano ba na-compute yan. So, interest earned, this is the interest earned during the period. Next column is yung nasa column C, yung cumulative interest. This is the total interest earned in the investment at the end of each period. Next is yung sa column D, cumulative deposits. This is the total amount of the deposits added to the investment at the end of each period. Next column is yung E, total increase. This is the total amount for which the investment has increased over the initial deposit at the end of each period. And lastly, yung future value, nasa column F. This is the value of the investment at the end of each period. So, kailangan, ang mauna ditong computein is yung future value muna. Then, para makompute yun, input natin yung formula na ito, FB times natin sa effective rate per period na 6.9%. Then, yung dito sa column A, yung A11 period, which is 1. And yung B5, yung periodic deposit. Next, to initial deposit, and then yung deposit type. So, lalabas na yung amount na to na 111,019. So, proceed tayo dito sa interest earned. Para makuha, makompute natin siya, itong future value na to, ay ita-times lang natin dito sa effective rate per period, which is yung 6.9%. So, lalabas tong amount na 6,765.38. So, tuloy-tuloy lang yun na gagawin natin. After nyan, dito naman sa cumulative interest. Para makompute yan ay it's calculated by using a running sum of the values in the interest earned column. Running sum. Ibig sabihin, ipag-add natin itong amount na to, yung nasa C11, and then yung nasa B12, para lumabas yung 12,855.38. So, running balance siya. So, tuloy-tuloy lang natin yung nagagawin. Ayan. Nabawa nito yung C13 and B14 para lumabas tong amount. Next is yung sa cumulative deposits naman. Sabi dito, it's calculated by multiplying the periodic deposit by the current period number. So, makikita natin ito yung current natin na deposits. Now, i-multiply natin siya dito sa period na nasa A12 and makuha natin itong amount na 9,000. So, ulitin lang natin yon 12,000. Then 3. Lalabas yung 15,000. Hanggang sa makuha natin yung sa dulo. So, sa next naman is yung sa total increase. It's calculated by adding the cumulative interest and cumulative deposit. So, ipag-add lang natin ito. And makuha natin. Ito, 12,855.38 plus 10,000 is equals to 22,855.38. Ayan. So, dito naman sa future value, same lang din siya sa ginawa natin sa una. Pero ang magbabago lang dyan is yung period na gagamitin. Ito, ang ginamit natin is A11. Ito naman ang A12, A13, and then continuous ngayon. Yun lang ang mapapalitan para makuha natin yung amount dito sa future value.